Hi friends, welcome to my channel. Maybe this is the first time you are like seeing me on my channel. This is Deepika. So many friends have requested like how to care for curry leaf plants, especially in US. In warm weathers, like growing curry leaf plants is like quite easy, but in very cold weathers like Chicago and the um, northern parts of the America, and I believe it will be the same for the cold places like UK. This would be the common problem, like to keep your curry leaf like quite healthy and provide proper yield. Okay, see, like I have a couple of plants here. Actually, like when I bought, my cousin gave me a plant of a little bigger than this size, a single plant of this size. But in 2 years, like it propagated this big. And I'll tell you tips like how to do that. We need to be a little cautious, but it's definitely possible. The first and foremost thing, like I would like to say, the most important thing with the curry leaf plants growing in the pot is the pot size. Like it needs to be appropriate for the size of the plant like you are growing. See, like I got for this size of a plant, like I got like a medium pot of this size. And when this plant is growing big, like I repotted into quite a big of a pot. Like I don't know like how much you can see it here. Okay. Second thing, like most important, is the drainage. These plants they don't like to be overwatered. They really like to be watered in quite a good proportion. So you don't want to underwater or overwater. But the tip in a layman term I can give you is um, when you water your plant, it should feel something like a sponge dry. Do you know like what a sponge dry is? Like when you press a sponge, it's still wet, but it won't be dripping water. That's how the consistency should be. And if you are putting a saucer below, make sure like not too much water is coming out, because if you overwater, your plant roots will start rotting and that will kill the plant. So this is a quite a bit of an important tip, like to keep your plants alive. I did the same mistake when initially when I had like a small plant, uh, in like in over enthusiasm to care for it more. Like I used to water it every day, but it will definitely kill your plant. So that's one tip. And in some and second tip is like in like places like us, like where we have four seasons, the watering, there's like a regime like that we need to follow for our watering schedule. So like in summers, like when we have quite a bit of hot temperatures like 80-degree Fahrenheit on average, I would prefer like watering my plants early in the morning. So not in the evenings. Evenings might cause like mold and like bacteria buildup. But in the morning, like the plant gets enough water, and still like you see right now, you see the soil is little bit moist, and it's still like, if it's too damp, like the soil won't fall like this. As I said, like it's like a sponge dry situation. Okay, this is one tip. And this is for the summer, like this is how you should water. But when you are going again back to the fall, try to move your plants inside and reduce the frequency how you water your plants. Like initially do it for 1 week, in the winter do it for at least, don't water at least for 3 weeks, and spring again come back to 1 week watering. And then like when you put back your plants in summer again, water every day. Okay, so this is the regime. And as I said, like you will get an hang of it like once you start it. Okay. And the second tip I want to give you is like the nutrients you give to your plants. So like many friends, like when I was like lending them like plants of this small, they were like wondering, will this survive? Because like I got like couple of plants and they never survive, and neither the plant is growing or whatever. So the nutrients is like also quite a bit of an important thing. So I will give you like 4 nutrients which is quite handy for all of us. You don't need to spend a fortune on it. So the first and foremost tip like I want to give is like, which we all find, the Epsom salt. I got this from the store. Epsom salt, like the chemical composition is magnesium sulfate. The magnesium sulfate will help to increase the foliage of your plant. So all the energy, the nutrients like the plant gets will turn into foliage, and it will like it's like giving like a um, vitamins to your plants. Okay, so how much do I need to give is like you need to make sure your plant base, the soil is extremely dry, just like what I showed. And you can like for 5 of this plant, I will put like just a half teaspoon, and I will sprinkle it right over there. But as a beginner, I won't suggest doing this to you, because like you may burn your plants by putting excess. So what I would suggest is like put a half to 1 tablespoon in a 1 gallon of water. So the easiest measurement like we have for a gallon is like the milk bottle. So for people who don't have a gallon bottle, it's like something like 3.78 liters for 1 teaspoon. Okay, and then sprinkle it. You can spray it on the foliage, so the plants will really love it. But try to do it early in the morning if you can. If you're putting it in the water form, if you're putting in the liquid form, when you get a hang of it, like you can just sprinkle it, and next morning, like when you do it, it will take it very well. Okay, so this is one tip, and you should be doing this 2 to 3 weeks in summer. And the whatever the things like which I'm trying to tell now is mostly for the summer and like for the hot warm weathers. Okay, this is the first tip, and this we do, as I said, on a 3-week basis. My second tip comes is like the buttermilk, the fermented buttermilk. Like you can dilute the fermented buttermilk and pour it like instead of your water. It needs to be extremely diluted, as if like I can tell you this way, like if you have a yogurt pot like which is done and you are ready to scrub it off, so just leave it for like a few hours out. That will really make it a sour buttermilk, and put the pot full of water and scrub it off. So the remains of the yogurt would be enough to I mean like it should be extremely light actually. You don't want to put it like thick lassi kind of a thing in your plants. Okay, so the benefit of that is nitrogen will help like the plant root growth and the base growth. It will give enough nutrients, so you will see that. And that you can do on a every 3 days you can do it. You can do it as on a 3 days apart, you can do that. It's again your choice. Now coming to the daily basis or alternate days basis, like what I do is actually I keep a bucket in my porch. I would suggest doing this for all of you like who have balconies or small spaces. Put an empty bucket, and whenever you wash your rice water, lentils, anything, the first few washes, don't let them go in the drain. There are very good nutrients that can be very powerful for your plant. And you see here, like I washed my quinoa and some lentils here. It looks like almost like mud, but it's like quite important for your plants. So again, like I did this in the morning, I let it sit for a few hours, so I can see some bubbles coming up. The bubbles coming up is a good sign, that means it's fermented enough, and now you can give directly to your plant actually. If you are like not very sure about it, try to dilute in 1:1 ratio too. You can do this on an alternate day basis, and you can see like really good growth in your plants. Again, like the watering is like, once when you're giving this, you should follow the rule which I said initially. You should make sure that your soil is only like a sponge dry condition. Don't drench completely, okay? Don't flood it. And the third tip I want to give you is like it's an optional, but this is like a steroid and a booster shot for your plant. Like this is like it's like a health tonic for your plant. Like this will boost really like 2 to 3 times growth. You will see it. That's how I've seen like for a plant of this size to this size in 2 years. Okay, and that is, I got like a fish fertilizer. Some people prefer to make it home, but again, like it's like quite a bit stinky. We get stinky smell, like some people can't tolerate it. So I bought this like from the store bought. I try to bring any kind of fish fertilizer, dry, pellets, or like liquid form, and try to get something like wild salmon, catfish or anything. I mean, I've said like any fish fertilizer has like loads and loads of omega-3 fatty acids. So like when you give omega-3 fatty acids, like it's good for your brain, eyes and all like that thing. Same for the plant, like it will like it multiplies its foliage like anything actually. So this you have to give again, like they give instructions right here. They are in a 1 gallon I'll put just this size of liquid, and I think like you will get the same instructions for the pellets if it's in a dry form. Okay. But again, like there's a concern, like not everyone likes to have like fish fertilizer in their plants, like vegetarians or vegan. So those kind of people, like I would say you can switch to like a fruit fertilizers, fruit fermented fertilizers. So those fruit fermented fertilizers are also quite easy to make. You need to you can find it in YouTube videos, or I will make one video very soon, or you can again like buy it in the store. So these are like the few organic ways like which I really love to do it. And I'm pretty sure like there are a lot more things. And coming to how to make it bushier, you see here my plants are sprouted with the small shoots here. When you pluck it, if there are like 4 plants, 4 branches, pluck at least 2 of them. That will make it bushier. Instead of like if you keep on letting it grow, it will go taller. So initially I was not sure. So all my, I mean like I'm a learner just like you, so I did let it grow. But when I had like shoots at this point, had I plucked it, it would have grown in a ball like a form. So that is one thing. And these plants love pruning actually. It's just like giving haircuts to them. And the more you prune, more it will come back. And when one tip I also want to give while doing is like when these plants get like proper care and nutrients in proper amounts, like as I said, like fish fertilizer for every 3 weeks, or like Epsom salt for every 3 weeks, and these nutrients like rice water, buttermilk and all these things, these plants will like increase their growth very well, and they start at one point they also start flowering. Okay, so this is the point of decision. So we don't want to have seeds, most of us like who are growing in the pots, we want the foliage. So if you let the flowers grow, the most of the energy the plant has will be transferred to the flowers, moving into that flowering reproductive cycle. So then your foliage production will be decreased. So whenever you see like a small like a white seed flowering thing, like just pluck it off, and like you'll see it back again like a normal growth. But when you do that, and when you keep all these fertilizers and all these things, again like in the midsummer, like you will see small shoots coming up. The taproot is the main root of the curry leaf, starts putting like small baby plants all over. So it follows something called layering actually. So when this is too small, you can also pluck it and repot it, because like here the nutrients are spread all over, and maybe like everyone is getting a stunted growth over here. So to avoid that, like you can just clear out some plants to a smaller pot, but be cautious when you're giving like the fertilizers. You can't give the same amount of fertilizers at least for a few days, like when these plants are small. Suppose I can say you this. I repotted this small plant like a couple of weeks back, and I didn't give any fertilizers for first few weeks, but then I started giving it. You need to do it in a trial and error basis. Like don't give it all at a time. Like keep watching, give little by little. Just like the medications for human bodies, like on our medications they say like use caution while giving it to kids. Same for the plants, we need to be cautious like what we are giving. Like if there's too much of a small baby plants, like watch them, like don't overfeed them, don't over fertilize them. Okay, so these are the cares I would say. And I want to conclude this video also by saying like what to do in the four seasons of in the hardy zones of 6 and 7, like Chicago, like where we have like spring, winter, fall and summer. Okay, summers are like these plants favorite time. We always put outside, and given these kind of like nutrients and the water, your plants will definitely grow very well. But um, but the main problem comes like when you are moving from one zone to one other zone, especially in fall, when your temperature starts falling down. Your plant doesn't need to go to a shock. A sudden change in the temperature will definitely give it a shock. So it's better like when you feel like the temperature is dropping below 50 degree Fahrenheit or 60 degree Fahrenheit during the night, put the plant inside and slowly reduce the frequency, like as I said, like maybe start putting like the giving the plant like once a week water. Try to put it in a sunny spot like by window or something, and like try to go drag it like to 2 weeks 3 weeks. By the time the winter comes, just to give it um, water for 3 to 4 weeks. You may seem like the plants curl up. It's normal to lose leaves during the winter, but that's quite okay. But make sure like you're not putting on like close to the vents or dryer vents, because those dryer vents like make the soil extremely dry and we don't know, and we'll put water and like it will confuse the plant, and actually the plant is in a dormant state like when it is in the winter. That is the time like we have to be very cautious. And most of the time what I saw in winter is like when we are feeding the water, feeding the plants with the water, I've seen like small like a dusty pest growing on the branches actually. So even the leaves actually, on the back side of the leaves I used to see small spotted pest I think. For that like what I use like is like a neem oil spray. But again like you have to be really cautious how much you are using, because like in winters with the low temperatures there's a very good chance like the plant can be a plant has to face many challenges with the mold, the low weathers, and um, so you have to be really cautious, like do it in a trial and error basis. As I said, like low reduced water intake is the best solution to keep your plants alive. So don't be worried like if the leaves are going down, just make sure like it's away from the vent. Okay. And coming to spring, like when it is spring, like when you feel like the temperatures are growing 50 degree Fahrenheit overnight, slowly pull out the plants outside. Initially like the first few weeks you will see the plants turning to black, but like watch for a couple of days. If that is like if they're really curling up, or like if they're really turning like from brown to black shade, maybe you have to pull back it inside. That means like the plant is not ready yet to the spring actually. So maybe the 60 degree temperature or 50 degree temperature is not quite, the plant is not sure like it's ready for that. So at that time you still need to put it in a sunny spot, but you can increase the water intake, water give intake to the plants maybe again to 1 week. Okay. And and as I said, like the summers are like awesome. As soon as you make the as soon as you're sure like the summer is good, or like the late springs when you bring your plant out, make sure you um, add like little potting soil, a compost, handful of a compost. Make sure you don't put the pure compost, like mix it with potting soil and spread it. That's the first step that you'll be doing it, because around the time like the plant has been sitting for 3 seasons, close to 3 seasons in your house, it's in a quite a bit dormant stage, and we have to prepare. We don't want to overfeed at a time, so create a medium through for its roots by giving like a very low medium environment, like mixing like a pure compost with a potted soil. Dig a little bit around the roots and put the composted soil around it. Immediately like you will see in 2 weeks like if the plant likes it or not. And try to increase like your watering cycle. Always put the water in the morning, and I can promise like have, if you follow all these directions, your plant will show these shoots and all like these things, like this flowering of shoots, the small baby plants and everything, very soon actually, like within like these plants don't waste time in the summer at all. They just like they grow in size like a lot. And you can start with this regime of like a 3 week Epsom salt, alternate with like fish fertilizer or fruit fertilizer, like alternate every day with like the fermented water, everything. Okay, so these are the tips like I wanted to give everyone today. Okay, I hope you like my video. If you find this helpful, please like, share and subscribe my channel. Okay, please comment me if you have any. Please use the comment box to ask me any questions. I'm quite a bit of a learner, like any suggestions are always welcome. Okay, thank you, bye bye.